We are Locked On Houston Astros, and we hope that you join us for a daily Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Heisman. You can find me on Twitter at Eric Talks Stros. You can find the show at Locked On Astros, your team every day. Brett, where can they find you at?
They can find me at HL Wheelhouse on Twitter and at Stros411 on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Always positive, always Stros.
Alrighty, apparently you're wearing the lucky Hawaiian shirt, and you're
This
already
is my
messing up on
victory shirt. Yes, this is my victory shirt, and I'm so giddy. I'm like a kid at a candy store. This is amazing. Like I didn't know that wins could feel this good.
Alrighty, so apparently the Astros are able to get victories. So everybody's excited about this. So we are excited about this as well. And we are talking about the Astros, your favorite team. And this episode is brought to you by Locker Room. Download the app and join us next week, and we'll talk with you about your favorite team, the Houston Astros, who finally got a victory. And we can talk about what you're excited about this team. And Locker Room, it's changing the way we talk about sports. And don't forget that you can get Locked On Astros on podcast app Himalaya, as well as Google Podcasts, Odyssey, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. And when you get in your car, tell your smart device play podcast Locked On Astros. So I'm looking for a sponsor. And Brett, it's not for the podcast. So I made the decision to go bowling today and not watch the game. And then I went to go karaoke. And so I'm looking for somebody to sponsor me to go bowling and go karaoke every night, so the Astros can actually get some victories every night. So if anybody's got some extra cash, because I can't afford to do this every night, and can anybody kind of sponsor a poor teaching podcaster? And
so here's the deal. Let me just let you know that if you give money to Eric Heisman, it will benefit not only Eric, but it will benefit the team. And we've got to keep this going. Eric is, like he said, we are both teachers. We don't have the salary to go out bowling every night. We're not high rollers, but he is an awesome bowler. You like what I did there? Sponsor Eric Heisman. If we need to, I'll start a GoFundMe for this. I can get a dunking booth. We can do this thing up.
All right. This is the Locked On Astros podcast. So let's kind of move it on from this. So Trevor Howard asked what I've seen. I did Losing My Religion. I also did Creep by Radiohead. So, Silly Straw. I know that Trevor Howard said Silly Straw got a triple. So that's an interesting way to say that. And I know that we were talking before the show that Straw kind of got the offense going. And I know that this was typically a double that Straw actually kind of made into a single. Into a triple.
No, that's okay. No, it was a grounder to the short left field side. It hit off the little, where the wall goes back. On the left field wall, right there below those seats where that net is. And it hit off that wall and careened off. And I don't think they expected him to go for three. And dude, he slid in third, and he almost came off the bag. It was a great effort on his part. That was the first 2 runs of the game, and that's what you needed, Eric. You came into this game, and you and I talked about this. We criticized Straw for not hitting. We criticized Straw for not catching, and we can go into depth about that tonight. But we talked about the pitching, and the pitching when they did do okay, the hitting wasn't there. Everything went in their direction tonight. You had to silence Ohtani and Trout, and they did. Trout is actually day-to-day with an elbow contusion. There's no major damage, but it looks like he stuck his elbow out. But what I want to focus on is what the Astros did tonight and Cristian Javier's amazing performance out on the mound. His second straight performance against a division rival of 5 innings shutout ball.
Yeah, for sure. And I know that a lot of people want to focus on what the offense did, but Cristian Javier came in and he basically said, "You want to send me down to Corpus? Corpus? That's practice. That's practice. I'm not Allen Iverson." And so he came in, and I know he only threw 5 innings, but he was dominant. He threw. He's had 9 strikeouts, and his ERA on the season is 1.32, and he only had one walk. He allowed 3 hits and 5 innings, and I think his final pitch count was what? Looking at it right now, it was 98 pitches. So I know that before the game, that Dusty Baker said that he was built up to about 93 pitches. So he said that he thought he can get up to about 100 pitches. So 98 pitches for Cristian Javier. That's where you want him to be. So yes, you would like him to be a little bit more efficient with the pitch count, but he had 9 strikeouts. You're not going to have a high pitch, high. You're not going to be very efficient if you're going to have that high strikeout count. But he came back and did what he's supposed to do. He set the tone. The Astros returned home, and they really dominated the Angels offense. And I know that we'll talk a little bit about what happened there, but I want to really focus on the while I was bowling. One thing really stood out to me. Kyle Tucker with the bases loaded twice. First time, I believe he struck out. The second time, he hit a fly ball to right field, from what I remember. Kyle Tucker, you've got to do better than that.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, now that second ball he hit, that was a lucky catch. If that player was, if their second baseman was 2 feet forward, he wouldn't have caught that. I mean, that was a shift. That was we played the percentages. That ball in almost every other scenario would have been a bloop, would have probably allowed 2 runs to score. So I'll give him a reprieve on that. But I want to go back to, I'm sorry, my computer's about to die and I didn't realize I didn't have it plugged in. So that's why I bolted. But Cristian Javier, Dusty Baker before the game said he is released to throw 100 pitches tonight, and that's what we expect out of him. He actually had 21 swings and misses at the plate, Eric. It was, I mean, he pitched a gym tonight. He got into some trouble in a couple spots, and he got out of it. But he was dominating, and he even fooled Trout. When he hit Trout in the when Trout got hit in the elbow, Trout thought he was going to throw him a slider, and it looked like he stuck his elbow out there. But it was phenomenal to see Javier go in there and then the Astros to come in and back him up. This team is built to win. They can win. They've had some hiccups. Trevor asked, did Trout lean into it? Dude, if you look at the replay, he stuck his elbow out there. He didn't lean into it, but his elbow, he clearly extended his elbow over the plate. And the second question, yes, he said, and Albert Pujols, did he hit the foul pole? No, he did not hit the foul pole. That ball did not touch the foul pole. There was a shadow on that foul pole, and I saw it myself, and Jose Altuve was safe.
Are we still going back to that?
Yes, that kind of
2 years ago, 3 years ago.
I'm sorry, I'm still bitter.
All right, so Johnny Munoz says, if our starters only go 5 innings, then so be it, as long as they only give up 2-1 like Javier did in today's game, or 0 runs, and we'll take it all the time. I'm going to disagree with you there, Johnny. No, the starters have got to go deeper in the games, or else you're going to have a bullpen that's going to be depleted at the end of the year, and they're going to have nothing in October. So if you want to have a successful bullpen in October, you're going to have these guys rested, and I know you're going to have these guys rested, and you're going to have people go in IL, but. So Space Lawyer is agreeing with you. So let me put that up there real quick.
Thank you. Solidarity.
So, but I understand what you're saying, Johnny, but you've got to have the starters go deeper. And speaking of which, I did see that there was a tweet out there today that Farmer Valdez was throwing some pitches in Florida. So it's good to see him throwing some pitches out there, and it looked pretty good. And so we'll have to see what happens with him. But I don't think that it's going to be anytime soon that we'll be seeing him back. But it's just good to kind of see that that's coming. But the offense has got to be more consistent. And I know that a lot of focus has been on the pitching. Framber Valdez coming back at some point would be great, but the offense has got to be better. So, you know what? The Astros have got to rebuild from the draft. And, the draft coverage is coming up with the NFL. So go ahead and tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, the Locked On NFL Draft. Locked On Podcast Network is partnering with the Draft Network to cover the NFL Draft live. That's right, live. Get insight analysis on with the Locked On experts and the Draft Network's national experts. Subscribe to the Locked On NFL YouTube page to watch the 3-day coverage. This is a massive event of the NFL Draft, April 29th through May 1st. This is going to be amazing. I mean, look, I don't know if the Texans will have any draft picks, but if they trade a certain someone and they get a lot of draft picks, it could actually be pretty intriguing for Houston Texans fans. So go and subscribe to the Locked On Podcast Draft Network special. Get your subscription. Be there for 3 days. Be there live for the action. You'll get all kinds of opinions across the board.
Alrighty. Can they even trade that certain somebody? All right. This is the Locked On Astros podcast. Let's talk back to the let's talk about the Astros.
There's still interest, I hear. So
yeah. So the story Johnny Munoz said the story of the game is that Joe Smith did not give up a run. Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah, he even ended the inning with a strikeout. He had two guys on, and it didn't look like he was locating. But man, he got the pitches back under control. And I noticed him and Maldonado came together towards the end, and Maldonado was like, "Good job!" Like Maldonado was like, "Great! Like I've got platinum hair now, and you're throwing strikes again, so that's a good thing, right?"
All right, I'll be more impressed when he doesn't give up those 2 hits. So you come back to me when Joe Smith is not allowing those 2 free
Come
hits.
on, man. Come on. He gave up 2 hits. He struck out the last guy. Give him some credit, dude. I was shocked when they brought him in. I was like, wait, why are we bringing Joe Smith in? We only have an 8-run lead.
So. All right. So we got some
we got some people listening at Minute Maid Park,
Big
man.
Sarge? Is this Big Sarge?
Wow. I don't know. It looks like.
I think that's a Big Sarge. I'm not sure.
It's Big Sarge's picture. So, man, we appreciate it if you are listening. You dude, tonight I feel like we won more than a game tonight. I feel like after the week that we've had, oh yes, sir, it is the Big Sarge Sports checking in with us. Thanks, man, for hanging out.
Hey, if you want to join the show, I can send you a link real quick, Big Sarge. So just let me know. I'll send you a link. But anyway, so yeah, the Astros have definitely they did what they needed to do. They went ahead and they did what they need to do in this game, and they got the victory. They a lot of people were seriously starting to doubt the Astros in this case, and I was seriously starting to be like, okay, well, I think the Astros are to the point where, yeah, we need to kind of maybe look at doing something else. Maybe we should start rooting for the Rockets. Wait, the Rockets suck. Maybe we should start rooting for the Texans.
Yeah, the Rockets are trying to get a first-round draft pick, so they need to lose all the games they can. I mean, a number 1 draft pick. But hey, here's the deal: Carlos Correa. I see Mr. Munoz here mentioned that he did great in the leadoff spot. I say leave him in the leadoff spot. Why not? He did a great job. Tonight, Eric, we had 4 Astros hitters get multi-hit games. Everybody but Yuli Gurriel had a hit tonight. And when you look at the box score, you look at the Angels, Ohtani was 0 for 5. Trout was 0 for 0 because he had 1 base on balls. Walsh was 0 for 4. Upton was 0 for 3. I mean, Pujols got a cheap home run. He should have been 0 for 4 because that should have been a foul ball. But they held their offense. Their offense had been hitting home runs. And so it was great to see them shut this team down. I mean, they're 9-8. They're only 1 game above 500, but they've actually been hitting the ball really well lately, and Trout's been hot. So I love seeing that. I love to see us get a win against the Angels. But get this: Correa, Brantley, and Bregman. Okay, they had 14 at bats among them, and they had a combined 7 hits. They were 500, 7 for 14. When you got that kind of production at the top, it trickles down. I mean, what a great night at the plate for these guys.
Yeah, for sure. And anytime you hold Mike Trout, I mean, I know you technically hit him, but
No, he
and
no.
walk him
We
and
didn't hit him
whatever.
intentionally though. He stuck his elbow out. Let's just make that clear. That
But
was
when
his
you
fault.
you hold him hitless, technically,
That's
then that.
I still
But
think we need to walk Trout every time. I would walk him. I wouldn't pitch the guy. I mean, I would
okay,
just
all right. As somebody who didn't get a chance to actually watch the game, can you describe what happened with this Albert Pujols homer? Because I know, go back to the.
okay.
Let's not talk about the Brad Lidge homer, but what happened in this game?
Oh, Brad Lidge hit a home run. No, I'm joking. Um, so our Pujols, like he always pulls balls, right? Pujols,
Right.
he always pulls it. He hit this ball. It was out over the plate. It was high, and he kind of reached and poked it. And of course, he's the machine, so he's probably got this laser eye, and he's like guiding the ball, and the ball goes up. Like if my mic is a foul pole, goes up and literally goes in front of the foul pole. If you're on this side, you wouldn't be able to see the baseball. You see the baseball the entire way. Well, they called it a home run. He's back in the dugout, and they're like, wait, hold on, we're going to review this. And the replay clearly shows the ball going in front of the foul pole. The reason why they didn't overturn it is because they say they didn't have inconclusive evidence to show that the ball didn't graze the pole. It's I was like, oh my God, that ball didn't even touch the pole at all. Like it didn't change trajectory. It didn't change direction. There was a shadow on the pole the entire time. Yes, thank you, Clint Cava. There was a shadow on the pole. I don't understand replay rules. I don't understand because to me, sometimes the most obvious replays never get overturned, and the ones that should never be overturned never get overturned. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't seem to work very well. But hey, talking about the games on the YouTube, I watched the whole game on YouTube, and I was kind of bummed about watching on YouTube because I was going to miss out on Todd Callis, Jeff Blum, and all them. But they had Jeff Blum as a part of the broadcast, and Blummer did an amazing job. They did an amazing job. So that was cool. Oh yeah, and Pujols got all the boos. And he deserves it. I mean, he's the guy you love to hate. But you know, our Pujols is a good guy off the field. So I don't hate him for that.
Ooh, sorry,
No,
Kevin.
he is, man. No, he is actually a
I know.
good guy. But they did a really good job with the YouTube podcast. Was it Mark Gubiza was on there, and then I forget the other two guys. Brett Dolan, who used to announce for the Astros for a very short time. So
I actually got to sit in press booth one time, and I sat next to him, and I got to talk to him one time, and
he seems like a nice guy.
yeah, he is.
So
So
yeah, so Eric, they did a great job. That ball should not have been called a home run, but you technically couldn't tell. Someone's like, you need to put a sensor on the foul pole, like when it gets hit, it lights up, and I'm like, that's genius. Let's do it.
yeah, Big Sarge said the crowd booed the entire time after that home run call. So
Yeah, they
I
did.
can imagine that if from what it sounds like. So yeah, and it's not the first time that maybe somebody like Albert Pujols, maybe he has that veteran call. Maybe it was just a
I think that was
whatever.
that was the equivalent of like LeBron James being able to walk 5 steps with the ball and lay it in the basket, and not get called for travel or something. That had to have been a classic veteran.
Or maybe the Astros having to play with 5 people on the COVID IL or whatever. Well, the Twins don't have to play, that type of thing. Yeah, I see where you're going there, but
They all hate us, Eric. You know it. Come on.
but anyway, so yeah, I was actually able to watch it. Like I was at the main event, and I'm like, hey, can you put the Astros game on? And they kept on saying, oh yeah, we'll look into it. We'll look into it. And so I'm like, never mind, I'll just put it on YouTube. And yeah, it was actually awesome to be able to watch it, and that's how I was able to watch Kyle Tucker kind of suck it up with the bases loaded. Come on, Kyle Tucker, what the heck are we paying you for? Kyle Tucker, bases loaded. What are you doing?
Okay, hold on,
It's
Eric.
like,
Eric.
sorry,
Okay.
sorry. Okay, I'll calm down.
No. Okay, guys.
Namaste.
Guy. Yeah. Namaste in bed. Anyways, Eric. You have PTSD from these last like 10 games. Okay. They
Okay.
didn't lose. It's okay. They're not perfect.
Breathe,
So hey,
breathe.
get this. Paul
I
Valadez.
need
Hey,
to,
listen, hold on.
okay.
Paul Valadez from Belching Beaver said, "Man, thank God we got this win. I was in a restaurant full of Angels fans today. LOL, because he lives in California. So yeah, take that, Angels fans. But man, let me tell you, like I literally am so giddy about this win. I was so down on this team. I tore into Myles Straw, but I did say a little caveat, a little disclaimer. I did say that he's a grinder and he's going to work and he's going to take pride in what he does. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, and he did. He took the day off, and he they said that it was a COVID vaccination day off, but maybe it was a mental breather, and maybe he just needed a freaking Built Bar. And talk to us a little bit about Built Bar.
Okay. So here's the thing: if you like protein bars. If you are the healthy conscious guy or girl and you want a snack that's healthy, you need to get a Built Bar. Why? Because A, it's wrapped in 100% chocolate. B, it's low calorie, low carb, and it's high in protein, high in fiber. It is a great substitute for going out and getting some fries or getting a burger. Slam a Built Bar before you go and work out and go, hit the weights. Get coconut almond, raspberry, peanut butter, banana bread, whatever you like, go get it. I tell you right now, if you get Built Bar, the cookies and cream is phenomenal. 17 grams of protein, 130 calories, 4 grams of sugar, and 4 grams of net carbs. You get a free cooler with purchase while supplies last. Go to builtbar.com and use a promo code LOCKED15, LOCKED 15 for 15% off your next order. Built Bar, the best bar in the biz.
The Ultimate Mock Draft 2021, presented by Locked On and Odyssey, is happening now, featuring analysis from experts Michael Irvin, Jason Lockenfora, and Brian Baldinger. All local experts from every team making trades and picking the next stars of their team. Search the Ultimate Mock Draft 2021 on the new Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts. Odyssey is your new home for all sports podcasts, music, and news that matters to you. That AUDACY. All right. So Big Sarge says Bregman said it was great to see Straw have a great game. So I believe before the show today we're talking about Straw made a great. Before show you said that he made a great play defensively. So
Yeah,
tell us
yeah,
a little bit.
definitely. No, yeah, he just I mean, the ball that was hit to him had some crazy top spin and it was dying quick and he almost didn't have a chance to slide, and when he slid his glove kind of got crumpled up a little bit and he made the I mean it was a great catch. And I think the triple got him fired up and just the rest of the game was his. And that's the thing about this team is they are cheerleaders for the other guys. They are not so selfish that they care only about their success. And so it's just like I said, it's great to see him out there. And I would love to criticize a player on this podcast, and them go out the next game and just make me eat my crow. Because at the end of the day, I know I couldn't do what they're doing. Heck, I was throwing BP tonight to our Pony League team, and I was getting lit up like a Christmas tree tonight because my arm was so tired or whatever. But hey, Eric, get this. We were clocking our speed from third base to home. Guess how fast H-Town Wheelhouse is? 4.48 seconds, baby. That's right. I was almost beating all these eighth graders. How's that for super
Your
athlete?
legs are bigger. That doesn't count.
Are you calling me fat?
No, your legs are bigger. I didn't say you were fat.
Oh,
You're
these
saying
kids
you're
are
fat.
these kids are as tall as I am, dude. Dude, I was flying. I'm telling you, man. I think I'm going to go try out for the Astros alternate spot and see if I can get in there, Sugarland Skeeters or something.
You do that, dude. Big Sarge, does he have a chance to make the team? Yeah, just has a chance to be on the YouTube play-by-play. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's make that happen.
The straw that stirs the drink. Did you see that? You see what Big Sarge said?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Alrighty. So, what are some other highlights from today's game? I believe that Alex Bregman having a great game. I know that he's not exactly having a bad season, but it's good to see him. I know the Astros have been playing
Yeah,
kind of
he's
him. They've been kind of I don't want to play him say that they're playing him cautiously, but I know that he's been nursing the hamstring all spring training.
I mean, he
But
was 3 for 4 today, dude.
yeah,
I mean, he's up to 326. But
yeah.
hey, to go back to your Kyle Tucker thing, he stranded 6 runners today.
Okay, yeah. Are we gonna keep on bringing this up? It's just like, yeah, we know this. All right, we already talked about this. Why do you want to just piss me off again today,
let's
Brett?
let's roast him so we can have a good game tomorrow.
All right. So speaking of which, what about Carlos Correa batting leadoff?
I love it.
So he was 2 for 5 today. I
Mhm.
know a lot of people say, well, he was only 2 for 5 today. He wasn't 4 for 5. Well, he scored 3 runs today. He had I mean they're all singles, and he did have 2 RBIs, but he is. This was what Dusty Baker was trying to do in spring training. He was trying to do the whole Carlos Correa leadoff. And I know when we had Sully on the podcast, and he was saying, "Well, this makes sense. You had George Springer leading off, the power guy. Why not put Carlos Correa as the leadoff guy, the power guy?" And I know Jose Altuve is the prototypical leadoff guy, but he is in COVID land right now.
Yeah, we have no idea. I mean, do we even know like when this is going to end for him? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so we don't really know what's going on with him, but for right now, I think it makes a lot more sense than putting whoever the F you want to put in the leadoff spot.
Whoa.
Put Carlos Correa until Altuve comes back. Just go and put Carlos Correa there. It makes a lot more sense than anybody else. And so Johnny Munoz says that congratulations to Dusty Baker with 1900 wins. Yay.
No, that's
Congratulations.
no, that's awesome, man. He's moving up the all-time charts, for sure, and he's putting himself in position. And hopefully the Astros can have a good season, not just for the Houston Astros, but I think for Dusty Baker. And we have to temper. I don't know, like we are 8-10 right now. That's not the worst, but I think we need to sweep the Anaheim Angels. I don't think we need to give them one win. I think we need to sweep them, Eric. We need to build momentum.
Okay, so let's talk about tomorrow's game. I know that we have Jake Odorizzi at let's just call it what it is, at Crawford Boxes Field, and versus Griffin Cannon. So Jake Odorizzi pitched a lot better in his last game, but he's
No,
got to
that
learn. Huh?
no.
Oh, I got it backwards.
It's Zach Greinke and Andrew Haney. It says April 23rd, which is
Okay, I
right
got
now
it
because
backwards.
that's okay. Well, no, it's because it's midnight. You probably went to the next game, but
Okay,
it
my
is
bad.
Greinke
My
versus
bad.
Haney. It's all good.
Well, technically, it is tomorrow, so yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. Tomorrow's game. Tomorrow's game, Eric. Good job, dude. So, so Friday's game will be Zach Greinke versus Andrew Haney. Saturday's game will be Odorizzi. Very good. See,
Okay.
that's why we work so well together as a team. But Greinke is 2-1 with 16 strikeouts. Andrew Haney is 1-1 with 19 strikeouts. But Andrew Haney is a 5.65 ERA. So hopefully the Astros can light him up like a Christmas tree, like they did Guerra today.
Yeah, so there's a lot to hope for in this series. I know that the Astros are coming in limping, but to win 8 to what was the final score? It was 8-2, right?
Yes.
So to get all this offense off of 13 hits, I mean, I think that's all they scored in what the last. I mean, they didn't they get only like 13 hits in the past 5 games?
Oh yeah,
So
it's
for them to
been
get that in
anemic.
one game, that shows that the Astros came in pissed, and it's just like great. So hey, all right, Johnny, yeah, whatever. So I had too many belching beavers. So anyway, so Ledmus Diaz played second base today, and Martin Maldonado got hit today. So I'm glad that he got off the snide a little bit. And So the Astros offense, everybody got hit except for Yuli Gurriel. This is something that we're not used to seeing. Gurriel has been one of the most consistent hitters for the Astros this year. So I expect we got a 4-game series, right? So I expect the Astros to. I'm gonna go and say it. The Astros are gonna win 3 out of 4, and hopefully they'll get back to their winning ways and maybe get like I'm looking at this thing, and they only have the top 4 teams in the AL West, and it's the A's, the Mariners, the Angels, and the Rangers.
Well, here's the
The
deal.
Astros aren't even on there. It sucks.
Paul's telling me that I need to criticize these players so they'll do good. So Kyle Tucker, get your lazy butt out of the batter's box, hit a freaking home run, quit leaving guys on base. You've left like 50 million people on base this month. It's ridiculous. It's unacceptable. I mean, hey, Preston Tucker can come up and actually bring people in. You need to do it, buddy. Like, rub the dirt on your hands, freaking hit a home run. I want to see a Kyle Driver tomorrow night. I'm calling it Kyle Driver tomorrow night. He has 2 guys in front of him. He hits a 3-run bomb. You heard it from me. Why? Because he's been sucking at the plate, and he needs to suck it up and do better.
All right, Cristian Javier, welcome back. And somebody said earlier that Joe Smith not allowed to run is breaking news. I disagree. Brooks Raley coming in not allowed to run is breaking news. So you've heard it here on the Locked On Astros podcast. We will be back next week. Go Astros. Let's get some W's this weekend, and we will talk to you next week. Go Astros, and I'm glad we're back to win the winning ways, and hopefully we've swept the Angels. And hopefully Mike Trout is not injured too bad, because you definitely don't want anybody injured, especially somebody as talented as he is. Even if he leaned into the pitch, whatever happened, get well, Mike Trout.
For the H.